Candle, the Library of Breathing Walls, a mystery story. In the forgotten town of Elderwin, where the fog never lifted and the crows circled long after midnight, there stood a library no one claimed to have built. People called it the Library of Breathing Walls, half as a joke, half as a warning. According to legend, the building appeared overnight, on a moonless evening in 1842. At dawn, the villagers saw an ebony stone tower that hadn't existed the day before. There were no windows, one door, and a cold whispering sound that seemed to seep through the cracks. One storm-heavy evening, Liora Eames, a young bookbinder known for repairing rare manuscripts, received an unsigned letter. The message contained only 5 words. The walls remember the truth. Inside the envelope was a torn scrap of parchment bearing an unfamiliar seal. A circle of thorns with an eye in the middle. Liora didn't know it yet, but this was the same seal found on a police report from 1894, when 3 scholars vanished inside the library and were never found again. Something pulled her toward Elderwin, not fear, but a strange sense of belonging. When Liora arrived, the library door was already half open, as if expecting her. Inside, the air was thick and heavy. The walls shifted, subtly, like stone lungs breathing in and out. Books lined the shelves from floor to ceiling, but every cover was blank. No titles, no authors, just silent volumes staring back at her. Except one, a massive tome on a pedestal. Its title burned in faint gold. The page inside was blank, until she touched it. Then ink began to form, shaping words telling a story she somehow recognized. Her own life, her fears, her childhood, her secrets, things she had never told anyone. And at the bottom of the page, new text appeared. The truth you seek is beneath the 3rd stair. Behind the pedestal was a spiraling staircase descending into darkness. Liora counted the steps, her heart pounding with each one. On the 3rd stair, she noticed a crack. When she pushed it, the stone slid away, revealing an ancient, dust-covered journal. Inside were the writings of Elias Brey, the last known architect of Elderwin. His final entry read, "The library is alive. It feeds on memories, then rewrites them. Anyone who enters becomes part of its story, unless they confront the chapter it fears." Beneath this, a single line was scratched in desperation. "Do not read the final page." So, of course, Liora opened it. It was blank, until she blinked. Then slowly, painfully, words scratched themselves into existence. The walls around her began to pulse faster. Cracks spread like veins. Something whispered her name from the shelves. Dozens of whispers, then hundreds. She realized the truth. The books weren't empty. They were filled with the memories of the people the library had absorbed. Each blank cover was a life consumed. A life rewritten. A life erased. And now it wanted hers. Liora understood what Elias Brey meant. The only way to escape was to write her own ending before the library wrote it for her. She took out her pen, the same one she used to restore ancient manuscripts, and wrote on the final page. Liora Eames chooses her own story. The walls screamed. Books flew from the shelves. The ground shook. But the ink held. The library rejected her, violently, and expelled her through its only door. When she opened her eyes, the building was gone. Only an empty clearing remained, as if the structure had never existed at all. Except for one thing. At Liora's feet lay the unfinished chronicle, the only surviving artifact of the library. Its final page now reads, "The Library of Breathing Walls will return when the next seeker arrives, and their story begins."